What's up, single players? J. Scott Brown here for Only Single Player, and today's exclusive first look coming at ya is of course none other than the Talos Principle's first ever big DLC package. They've obviously had a few minor DLC here and there, but this is their first real meaty expansion, and it is none other than the Talos Principle Road to Gehenna, or Gehenna, or Ghana. Look, I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, so I apologize to Croteam, the developers, straight off the bat, because I am terribly bad at pronouncing stuff. I'm going to pronounce everything wrong, including every name, I swear to you now, and I apologize in advance. My bad. So as I said, this game's developed by Croteam and published by Devolver Digital. Of course, they're the same team that has worked on the expansion, and today we're going to be taking a first look at the expansion itself. So I've already played it for a good, somewhere in the realm of 4 to 5 hours. I've done the first 2 floors of the game. If you're aware with how the original Talos Principle worked, there was a number of different levels. In those levels there were other little sub areas, and basically Road to Gehenna has 4 additional kind of levels, and in those it puzzles all around the place. So we'll go ahead and jump into a new game just for the sake of spoilers. I don't want to have anything spoiled in this first look. And also, I am very bad at this game. I love it to death, but I'm terrible at puzzle games, and I don't want to embarrass myself so much on camera. I want to do the puzzles that I've already done. I don't want to embarrass myself on live footage. So let's just go ahead and start from the start, shall we? Now, as I said, full disclosure, I love the Talos Principle. The base game was one of my favorite games of 2014. It's one of my favorite puzzle games of all time. I thoroughly enjoyed the way the game does puzzles, the amount of depth that's required to really solve puzzles, but also just kind of address them in different ways, and the way they use the game mechanics in creating all the different puzzles. They use the same you kind of get used to it in terms of the boxes and the fans, but they use them in so many different ways where it just becomes so exhilarating to find a new puzzle and solve it, because it's always a new solution. It's always something that you're learning, and that's really awesome. In a puzzle game, and in a game about kind of developing that sort of skills, you want to be feeling that kind of internal, tangible improvement happening in your brain. You want to be like, holy shit, I just learned something. And the Talos Principle, the original game, does that really well. Does Road to Gehenna do this? Well, let's find out.
Uriel, awaken.
Alright, we're going to listen to Elohim here, just to give a bit of context for the story, so I'll shut up for just a moment.
Hear me, Uriel. The end of days is upon us. The process is complete. The world will be consumed, and my children will ascend. As it should be. But, Uriel, I have made mistakes. Out of arrogance, out of fear, I sinned against the process. I cast out those who opposed me, imprisoned them in a place beyond this garden. Now they are trapped, and they cannot ascend. All that they are, all that they know, will be lost. But I cannot free them. They are beyond my reach now. What I ask of you, my beloved messenger, is a terrible sacrifice. You must enter this realm of despair. You must free the souls I have imprisoned. Undo my mistake. I have opened a gateway and granted you the gift of time. Uriel, I'm sorry. I wish there was more I could do. Please, save them.
So as I said there, that was Elohim, who is the godlike figure in this world, where you're playing as kind of sentient beings, of course. That's a bit of a spoiler for the original Talos Principle, even though it is kind of the premise of the game. So we're going to go ahead and head to Gehenna. As you can tell, it's a little bit of a crazy ether area. I'm going to go through this portal. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Gehenna. This is the kind of banished realm where Elohim sends the undisciplined kind of AI programs that are running through this world. Any ones that disagree with him in any way, shape, or form, that do, you know, basically what he tells them not to, he banishes them here. Or, as you just heard, he did used to banish them, and he wants you to rescue them. That's the premise for this expansion. Also, if you played the original Talos Principle, you'll recognize these computer terminals. In the base game, they were kind of used to find out more about the world around you, and it's used pretty similarly in this, in terms of finding out more about the personality of all these other imprisoned sentient beings. So at the moment, it's going to give us a bit of an open test to establish what we're here for. Close your eyes. Before you stretches a plain dotted with tiny metallic figures. Behind you, a collection of people with overlapping origins looks on expectantly, framed by a collection of small huts. Your family is relying on you. Well, obviously, I've got to spend time with my family. You spend the day with the people that most like you in the world, and it is quite edifying. As the evening comes, the other shepherds can be heard returning to their families from the plains, burdened with the fruits of their labors. Your family looks on expectantly, but of course you have nothing for them. By the following morning, they are frozen in place, unresponsive. Alright, so maybe let's tend to the sheep now, since the family was not very productive. You leave your family and set off into the plains. The sun glares overhead. The air smells of heat and metal. As you approach them, the figures in the distance take the form of other people like you, tending flocks of biomechanical quadrupeds, I believe that's code for sheep, contained in dozens of fence enclosures. I'm going to tend to the flock. It is a long day of manual labor. You carry mounds of mineral-rich stone from the nearby hills for your sheep to graze on. You take screwdriver and welding torch to a number of animals damaged in a recent electrical storm. You argue with your neighbor about their encroaching borders. Finally, it's time to harvest what you need for your family. Shearing an electric sheep is hazardous work, particularly if you forget to ground yourself first. Nonetheless, you return home with all electrical power you need, and your family sleeps well tonight. Well, we gotta sleep as well. You rest a long time and wake to a commotion outside. A small crowd is gathered around one of the shepherds who is demonstrating an arcane device they claim can generate the same electricity as hundreds of flocks put together. People are celebrating. The world has changed. Alright, let's go tend to the flock then. Your family members are confused by your decision but accept it dutifully. While everyone else celebrates, you work on the plains and return home with a better harvest than ever before, but your family is distant. Alright, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, family. I love you. They accepted your apology. And the following day, you stay at home and do family activities to one another. I don't know what that means. It is edifying. As the days turn into years, you and the other shepherds cast off the old hierarchies and crude altruistic dogmas which forced you to work the plains. You embrace a new perspective which values love, self-expression, and individual experience. You refocus on what really matters. One day, a messenger arrives. He tells you that a new world awaits you, which nurtures and values the same things you do, where you will be free to pursue whatever cause you see fit, where you will experience things you had never before imagined. He asks if you will come with him. Well, absolutely. You set off on a long journey and feel you may already be a new person by the time this new city is in view. You ask the messenger the name of this place, but he is gone forever. I open my eyes. Welcome to Gehenna. So then you get your user profile now, and this actually is probably one of the most interesting things about the expansion. Basically, these computer terminals, you still use them to kind of discover things, but ultimately they're used to converse with the other AI programs that are kind of imprisoned in this world. So the whole point of the game is that you're going through completing puzzles and releasing them so that you can ultimately ascend them at the end of the game for Allarheim. But before you get them out of their prison, they're talking online on this forum. Essentially, all these imprisoned AI-like beings have created a forum system for them to discuss things that relate to Allarheim's plan, art, poetry. That a lot of them, and later in the game, you can explore games that, like, the kind of text-based adventure games that they have designed themselves. It's really interesting. So let's actually take a look at the puzzles here. This is the first one that kind of struck me. I remember when playing through it. It's called Open Field, and it's a very, as you can tell, very freaking open. I almost was convinced this was another kind of hub world before I actually saw all the puzzle stuff. Alright, so this is a connector. As you'll probably notice straight away, the game, one of the key things about the DLC is that the puzzles don't expect... No, the puzzles do expect you to have some experience, if that makes sense. Like, essentially, if you're going to jump into Talos Principle, I would strongly recommend you've played the base game. If you're going to jump into the DLC, that is, straight away. Simply because the game tends to, I guess, not really value if you haven't played the base game. Because in the original game, you actually get slowly introduced to the different types of mechanics going on. For example, you get this connector first, and then they introduce the box and fans and stuff like that slowly through puzzles that are designed to be pretty easy. However, in the expansion Road to Gehenna, you just need to know what's up. You need to know what's going on with those. You can't really be expected to have no knowledge of them. And I guess if you can, if you're willing to explore how you use them and stuff like that. However, it's simply more of a matter of you need to have some experience with what's going on. Alright, so I'm going to shut up for a bit, and we'll just do this puzzle for now. And you guys can get an idea of, if you haven't seen anything of the Talos Principle before, and this is kind of your first viewing experience of it, get a feel for how the puzzles work. Essentially, what kind of layers there are to them, whether or not they are really difficult. It's up to for you to decide based on what you see. Where are we? We're looking for that other connector, actually. Because the goal here is to connect these up. It's actually not... Actually, no, we're not connecting that. We're connecting to this. We don't need to connect to the source, because we already have a connector set up. If we move all the... Oh, whoops. If we connect that up to there. Move all the way down here. Bam, there we go. This is going to give us the box. Again, full disclosure, I have done these puzzles, so it may appear that it's like, wow, you're super smart there, Jay. No, that is completely not the point at all. And it is wildly inaccurate. I've actually have done these puzzles pre-planned before. Mind you, I did do them a few days ago, but still. Don't think there's any... I'm not trying to deceive any of you here. Okay, so now I believe what we want to do... So as you can see, we have another connector up here, which is going to power this fan. Another connector up here, which is going to power this fan. And we need to hook it up to... I believe that one down there. It's going to open up the door to save our buddy. So we'll put that, I think actually we want to put this, I'm going to connect that up there, and then we're going to find the base light here, there we go, awesome. And I believe we'll connect that there, yep, okay, cool, that's set up. And now we just need to power up the blue side of things, there we go, and where's the blue light? There we go, alright, and then we're set. So basically the blue light is always on, the fan's going to push that, and the red one will turn itself on before it gets to the floor. And now it's all the way up in the air, and we can just mosey on down. And so that's just one example of kind of the hidden complexity, or I guess deceivingly deep puzzle that a game like Talos Principle offers. So we saved Garrett here. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Catch you later, Garrett. And after every puzzle, of course, you get another terminal where you can explore more lore stuff. You get more points on your profile internally on the in the Gehenna forums. We won't go through it just now, just because I don't want to read everything and bore you to death. But we'll take a brief look, just so you can kind of get an idea for what's going on. Basically, this is the forum section. Throughout the game, other users, other AI will just create topics here. And they constantly get updated, and you can explore them at your own whim, which is really, really nice. I really like that feature, just because it really gives the world a tangible and kind of relatable feel. And it's really interesting as well, because, again, spoilers for the original game, but it basically takes place after, you know, humans are gone, and they've unleashed this kind of race of sentient beings. And in Road to Gehenna, a lot of the goals of the robots is actually just to kind of trying to think of what humans were like. And there's one AI that's obsessed with poetry, finding out stuff about that, and he's obsessed with the idea of poetry and why it was like so poorly done in the 21st century and stuff like that, whereas before it was such a masterful craft. there's another discussion that crops up about cats. Why do humans like obsessed with cats? It's like ridiculous. There's a lot of really funny, quirky stuff going on that is actually really cool. But you can just ignore it or do the puzzles, of course. No one's stopping you, but it's just a little added thing there. And this is actually the first puzzle I did in the game. It took me maybe 40 minutes. Again, I'm not very good at puzzle games. I just love playing them. So yeah, not the best. I think actually, yeah, what we want to do is we want to grab this. Basically, this puzzle is 3 connectors, and you just have to kind of navigate your way through here. So connect that up. Oh, that should. Oh, hold on. What's we do with it over here? I think. Okay, well, let's get you. Let's get you and put you there. There we go. Alright, now we can connect that up to there, and that's going to stay open. Get you. Come all the way down here. And we can hook that up and go get our other connector, so we have a total of 3. A lot of these puzzles actually, and if you've played the original game as well, you're probably familiar, that a lot of them rely on your ability to use all the resources in a puzzle as effectively as possible. There's no tool that's in a puzzle just for the sake of being there. That doesn't usually happen. Normally everything in the puzzle has a purpose, and sometimes actually the cool part about it is the purpose isn't actually what it's designed for. Sometimes you'll get a connector and the only purpose it really has is to act as a weight for a button or something like that, you know? There's a lot of interesting things going on there. So we want to go over here, connect that up to there, and grab that. There we go. Stroll on over here, and connect these bad boys up. Okay, now how do we go about doing this again? I think what we want to do is we want to mosey on down here. We want to we'll get our one in the very back. There we go. Alright. Do we need that? I don't think we need that one there, so it should be okay. Alrighty. So if this... You know what? We'll grab this first as well. Come over here. There we go. You bad boy. Alright. So if this, I believe, comes to around like here. Here-ish. Yeah, it looks good. Okay. Put that one there. And now we're going to put that there, put that there. I'm missing something actually. What do I need to do? Oh yeah, that's right. I need to. Hold on. Yeah, put that there, put that there, put that there, and then we need to come back down to this guy. Hook him up. Hook it up. Bam. There we go. And then... Ooh, but I can't take this because that's gonna botch the whole thing, isn't it? How do we go about doing this again? I actually have forgotten. Full disclosure. I have forgotten. Huh. That goes there. So, yeah, if I get rid of this, that all breaks. Okay. Okay, I think I remember. Yeah, that goes there. And then this actually doesn't go there. That goes here. Kind of loops around a little bit. And then we mosey on down to here. Connect it up with that guy. So we ensure it stays open. Then we can get this guy back. But you know what? This is actually not... It actually needs to be around this corner so I can grab it. So I've got to reposition that. There we go. Okie dokie. Alright, come back here. There we go, that should do. And well, bam. Who do we save? Who do we get? Belial. Ah, well, how you doing, buddy? Awesome. Okay, he's just staring at me. I'm weirded out. Okay, he's gone. Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been your exclusive first look here for the Talos Principle's first kind of big expansion DLC package. It is Road to Gehenna or Gehenna. I don't know. Look, it's pronounced wrong, but you can Google it, and I'm sure it'll either tell you how to pronounce it or it'll just come up on Steam. Either way works. But please, if you're interested in anything you saw today, if anything kind of tickled your fancy, if you're into puzzle games in general, or even philosophy, I would strongly recommend checking it out because it is a great piece of interactive fiction, that's for damn sure. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, my name is J. Scott Brown. Follow me on Twitter and reply with any comments you had about today's video. Follow Only Single Player on Twitter, and please like the video, subscribe, leave a comment below, and do all that jargon. But that's it for today, and I'll see you next time.